By now, most of you have heard about the terms Internet of Things. And this is a term that's getting pretty popular. With IoT, you can make like mobile devices, homes, industries, embedded devices all connected to the internet. And this is pretty powerful when you think about it, because those devices can share data, they can analyze this data, and then billions of devices can be connected and create system of systems, and this can be pretty powerful. We believe in Liferay that this can change the way we do software and how things work. And imagine after this, you can send all that to the same backend, and this backend can analyze all this data, all those devices in real time. It can change medical experiences. It can change industries. It can make even shopping experiences more smooth, right? And many other things. One example, let's say a traffic light camera. It's recording the traffic. It takes picture of the traffic. It can analyze congestions. It can analyze accidents and send all this to the same backend. So how do we build that now? How do we build this backend to support all those devices? That's a question Liferay is making from the past years and months. And that's why we worked on this new project called Launchpad. And today I'm here to answer some questions about how is this project, how this integrates to Liferay, and how this is going to benefit our clients. In order to be modular, in order to create microservices in things in the cloud, you have to think about many problems. It's not so easy as we thought before. And microservices is good. And the popularity of microservices is growing a lot in the last couple of years. But what we see when we talk about microservices is just a little problem. We just see the beauty of it. It's easy. It's a service. You can deploy. You can undeploy. You can talk to other services by contract, by protocols. But actually, the problem is bigger than that. Why? Inter-service communication. Let's say you have a service A that wants to talk to service B. And how those services talk? You have to define a protocol. You have to define how fast is this communication. If these servers go down, what happens? So there are many things about the inter-service communication. Deployment gets pretty hard because now you have 100 pieces of software that you can deploy to the same backend. And often this is on the cloud. Distributed testing is also hard. And there is other matters on this, like coordination between different teams. Once you have microservices, your team works more splitted. You have smaller teams that work on more specific parts, which is good. But at the same time, they need to communicate. So all these problems can cause problems. And many startups failed because of that. They started to go into the microservice way, but they forgot the details. They forgot how complex the infrastructure can be, and they failed. And we want to, as a business company, as a software company, we want to provide a layer that simplifies that for startups, digital agencies, new business, autonomous developers, and many other publics that right now they can't use Liferay easily because they don't have a big IT team, or they don't have enough experience to build a large platform like a portal. And time spent on infrastructure is bad. It's time you can be focusing on something else. You can be building your applications. You can focus to delight your users. And other people think like this. And also people think that when you have teams distributed, you can be more productive and build better things, right? So based on all that things and conversations between the engineers in Liferay, we came out to this prototype, to this dev preview of the product called Launchpad. And today, we are glad to announce that all of you will be able to access the dev preview of Launchpad Project. So what is Launchpad? OK, Launchpad, put in a quote, I would call it as a backend as a service that makes building applications easier on any platform. And in order to be able to build applications on any platform, you need to provide to developers many things, like API clients in different languages, like Java, JavaScript, Swift. You need to provide a backend that you can deploy models, undeploy models in a simple way. You have to be business ready. You have to have a technology that clients can rely on, like a Java backend. And then you can focus on the fun part, which is building the applications and thinking about how to make your app great. In other words, Launchpad is a backend for modern applications. Okay? And we started that project thinking about what we build for tooling first. How can we make tools to make developers more productive? And then we realized tooling is a very important step, but we had other things. We had other pillars that we need to fill out in order to make this platform ready. And then we identified a few pillars, and I tried to summarize them here. What do we need to make applications? In Launchpad, we identified that you need to be able to create custom APIs in an easy way. Easy as open a JSON file and mapping your path and your function, your handler, to print some data. Also, if you are building web applications, you need to host your images, host your CSS files, host your videos. You don't want to pay a third-party service to host your your images, your resources, and your API is in a different cloud. And then we put also together the ability for you to host static files inside Launchpad. Third, and most important, in my opinion, is data. There is no microservice that can be relatively good without data capabilities. But data capabilities, databases, data stores, what is this? You can talk like hundreds and thousands of pages about that. But we didn't want to do that. We want something that is effective and is good. So what we built was a data layer on the cloud that you can access from the REST APIs. And inside this data, you don't think about search. You don't think about indexing data. Some people don't even want to understand or learn how to index data. So you put the data there, we take care of the rest. Once you have this data, you can query this data, and you can even do live query in real time using WebSockets. And I'm going to show you that. It's very exciting. Real time. OK, you already talked about real time in data. Yes, but real time in data is not enough for all kinds of real-time applications. You can query data, you can add data in real time, fetch data in real time, but sometimes you need to deploy custom code. You need to deploy your function that you print some logic for your game or your chat room. And how do you do that? You can deploy custom code the same way you deploy a handler in your custom APIs. So you can actually create custom APIs that supports HTTP or real time in the same way. And last, Liferay integration. Liferay has many great services. We have the best content management have ever played around. We have document library. We have Liferay Sync. We have all these products. And how do you make those APIs Liferay provide real time? How do you make those data of Liferay available to everyone easily? So you can create microservices inside Launchpad, and we are already thinking about the services you want to integrate, and you can just plug on your app, on your environment, on Launchpad. After this is all in the cloud, we imagine like this, right? I like to see like this. I have my app. So when I think about Launchpad, I think about blocks. We were trying to model some contract to make people build any kind of app and APIs. So when you think about cloud and app, how do you access this app? You can access this app by a domain or a custom domain. And for now, we access by a scope, a URL scope. So let's say you create an app called app. You can just go and type liferay.whatever/app. Once you have this app, you go inside the app, create services. Each service is nothing more than a scope in the URL. So it's like little blocks that you are putting together to compose your app. And you can even create Liferay service, like I mentioned before. You can integrate with third-party services as well. And now your app got pretty successful, and you need 10,000 requests per second. Fine, we scale for you. You got even more popular. You can just click a button, and out of the box, your app is scaled inside containers without any knowledge or experience with infrastructure and dev operations. OK, let's visualize all this in mockups and demos. When you go to Launchpad, you can sign up. You can create your application. You can, inside your application, invite people to your application. So you can just go there, like in GitHub, and invite someone by the email. The person is going to receive the email, accept the invitation, and he's there inside your app. You can also create tasks. If you notice here, my app is called To Do, and my service I am creating now is called Tasks. So I created a service. Again, more blocks going on. In order to build those APIs, you have the option to go to your JSON files, your Java files, your JavaScript files, and build there if you are a developer. If you are not, we put together this API Builder UI. And let's say we want to build this. We have Liferay.io. We have To-Do application with the service called Tasks and the API called API. In order to build that right now, you just need to access your application and then your service. And there is a UI that will allow you quickly to create microservices with all these capabilities of HTTP, data, or real-time. So here you can map the paths your microservices are going to expose. You can map the HTTP path. You can specify its data or not. You can play around this. And then after you create your application, you can export your application. So, your API. So how is this? How I export my application? So let's take an example. Let's build an app, for example, that you want to run on watch and on phone. And you want the same backend. And you want them to communicate in real time. Let's take a look closer to this application. In order to save this data, I don't need any rocket science. I just need a place to store a description, the author of my task, the assignee, and if it's checked or not. I need 3 fields. Organize these as a data table. All I need is this, right? Data, check it, it's a Boolean. Description is a string. When I get that information, I'm not a developer. Let's say I want to go there and try to build it. So you can go to Launchpad, you can map your paths, and you can explore your API and run data. You can change the HTTP method, post data. And let's take a look at this in practice to see how it is. OK. So if I go to Launchpad, I have already an account. So I'm going to log in. And then I have 2 apps currently. I'm going to do To-Do app. Inside this app, I have the items path. I hope everyone sees it. And in here, you can change the HTTP method you want to play around, but I'm going to just do a get. When I do a get, I get all the data already saved by this application. So here, we have the HTML, which is just a simple HTML page that connects to these services. So I logged in as Michael Hen, and I have those things here going on. I can click here, and I can create a new task. When I click Confirm, the task is here. If I refresh my page, it's saved. And if I go back to Launchpad and refresh my page and do again the operation, I can see that somewhere here there is this new task. So I can use this as a debugging tool for me to build my applications. And what if I need to copy this URL to place somewhere? I just click here, copy the URL, paste, and then I can visualize my data as JSON. If I need to navigate into my data, I can use this RESTful API to access, for example, this entry. But I actually just need the creator name. I can navigate to my path, and I can quickly access data from my URL, which in this case is a data URL. Okay? So let's leverage a real-time capability here. So by default, all the URLs supports real-time. So like I showed before, you are visualizing this data. But when I save something here, I have to go back, refresh, and see the content. But it would be nice if my page here listens for a URL instead of requesting the URL. And this is possible. And from the UI, you can also play around. You can even do more, like search and filtering that I'm going to show right now. So let's do just a quick query here in my request, and I'm going to sort by ID desk, because I want to see the latest ones first. So if I click Run, New task is here. And then let's click here, real time. Now my UI is streaming the data from the database, from your API. So now I'm getting my phone, which I have here, open the to-do tasks. And let me refresh to get this new one, because it was locked. OK, now I have the application here. So if I create a task from my phone, and save it, right away, the task is updated in the screen, real time. This isn't cool. This is very powerful. You are from your devices with the same URL. You don't do anything, and your URL has capabilities of real time. And you can go more. You can even do more search. Like, let's say here in this UI, you are sorting, but you also want to search tasks that I say, let's see. I want to search for my phone, just phone. If I run this, I filter. I have only one result. I have the score of my result. And I didn't need to do any configuration. It's the same data you listen. It's the same collection, but now you filter. OK, I want to highlight things. I want to highlight the query results for the field called description. If I click again, run, now it's highlighted here. So you have all the power of search out of the box in your data. This is really powerful. This is really exciting to build applications. Now you can go back to your application after you modeled your APIs, your microservices, and just make them work, to make this UI, to focus on your business value. OK, so we just understood how you go to the API Explorer, API Builder, build your task, and then integrate with this. But how do I integrate in my watch, in my JavaScript, in my phone? We have this API. One second. We have the API clients in many languages. If you want to authenticate your browser or your client, you just need to include a JavaScript file or the library. And you can say launchpad.url. You point to your endpoint, app name, service name, API, specify user and pass if you want a basic authentication. If you want to token-based authentication, you can also pass the token. And this authenticates for you. After you are authenticated, in this example, we use Swift to describe. So you can call Launchpad, the URL. You can specify the parameters like a form. You are passing checked true, description, name. You are passing this very quickly, and then you say .post or .put, .patch. So the API is very fluent. And we intend to support many other technologies. Currently, we support JavaScript, Java, and Swift. And let's look how this looks like in JavaScript. In JavaScript, it's exactly the same API. So you don't need to learn 3 times different things. Just copy and paste, adapt, and that's it. And in Java, exactly the same thing. We tried our best to keep the API as close as possible in respect to our developers. If you want to do just a curl request, or command line, or AJAX, you just need to run, and we fully support HTTP requests. We don't have any secret and crazy payload in the request, just HTTP. So you can easily create your own client if you want. Once you have those APIs, you can go to the dashboard, and you can check how much data my API/tasks is using, how many API calls it has in the last month. I want to define quota for that. You can go ahead and define quota. Those are in our roadmaps, and stay tuned. That is going to be available in the dashboard soon. And also, one thing that we are trying to do our best as well is to make the developer experience really smooth. We want to make developers quickly and easily do things. We want them to be productive. And we worked on a task, on a command line tasks that you can deploy, you can play around. You can also push your applications to the cloud. And more important, when you do PaaS or SaaS or cloud solutions, you have to code locally on your computer. You don't run anything. You don't debug anything. Then you have to push your code to the cloud. You make your computer to become like a dumb terminal that you just code and push to somewhere to run. In Launchpad, this is different. You can go to the UI. You can download your container, and you can run your container locally. And this will change the experience of the developer when coding in this platform. You can locally have exactly the same application you have on the cloud. You can deploy there, and once you are ready, you run a command, and everything is synchronized and published. This is pretty nice. Let me just show a few more demos for you. If you go to also the documentation page, the Learn section, you'll see that we have many data operations. Let's say query. In query, you can do like filter, search, highlight, sort, a bunch of things, right? And you can go here, see how it is in JavaScript. How do I filter a field? Okay, you can also specify a pure JSON. You have all the basic operators, equal, greater than. You have in Java the same API for filtering. Swift is the same API. In JavaScript, you can check, this exists, this is missing, the range support. We also have, we have all this stuff, and we have a pretty exciting filtering, which is geolocation. And this is very nice, because we quickly went here, created an application. Oh, sorry, let me go back. We created an application in Launchpad called Map, right, for this presentation. Inside this application, all we did was to create a few paths. One is places that we are going to post latitude, longitude, and the name of the place, right? If I get this here from the UI, I can see I have only 3 informations, very simple string. I have the name of the restaurants around or the places around. I have the latitude and longitude and the ID. Once I have this, I can quickly create a HTML file like this. So this is nothing special. It's just JavaScript. I included Google Maps for the rendering. And I have the API client of Launchpad included from the CDN. And I create a search.js file. Search.js is just a function that I get the latitude and longitude from the map, specify the size of my radius that I'm going to search, and I can say Launchpad URL and point to my endpoint, which is the application called map, the service is called Germany, and the API is called places. And then I say filter distance based on location, the latitude and longitude, in a radius of 10 meters. And also filter by the name. So I have composed filters. I can pass multiple filters to my URL, and it queries for me and gives me the result back. I want to highlight the name, and I want just 100. And then I do get. And with a promising fluent interface, you can say then, call some function, and this function will plot the little red dots in the map. No secret, very easy JavaScript, and this is the exactly code you are seeing running. We have the data here. I can change the size of my radius to be bigger and get more data, or I can even change to be smaller, like just this area. I can move to other parts of the city. And once I have this data loaded, let me put it bigger because I want to do a search now. And then let's say there is any subway around. Yeah, there is a subway here. It already filters for me, gives me the highlighted results. And now with JavaScript. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, and finally, I want to show you how you deploy custom real-time. It's pretty exciting. Let's say we want to create a chat. Java world depends on many application servers. You depend on WebSphere, you depend on Tomcat 2 or 3 or whatever. In the end, you cannot take advantage of the newest things like WebSockets. And when you want to deploy some Java application with real-time, if your boss comes to you and say, hey, I need real-time on web today, you are going to, oh my God, I use Java, I don't know how to do it. And we also didn't. And we made a partnership with the automatic company that built Socket.io protocol, and we wrote the first Socket.io server in Java, supported by us in Liferay. And all the tests are passing. It's going to be open source at some point. And what this means for the community? This means that from now on, you can build real-time communication from Java applications. And this is very easy to use. So let me actually show here how I build a Java application with real-time, like a chat. I just created a file called pod.json. Pod is how we call our services. And then we said, OK, I need a runtime for when I deploy this little service, this microservice, I need a class to start and stop my service. After you map the name of the class, which is chat, I created a chat.java class. It just needs to implement this interface, which is just start and stop. And you can say, here I get the context, and I get the real-time context of your service. This, now again, just to summarize, I'm creating a custom real-time. It's not the data real-time. So I need to do whatever I want. So because I need to do whatever I want, I just say, OK, when someone connects, get this person's socket, and join some room. You can create rooms concept, because Socket.io provides you that API. So I created just a chat messages room. It could be any string. And then I say, when someone in this socket sends us a message called chat message, answer that, emitting this to the other sockets. So that's all. That's all I have. And I created a folder web app, which is an HTML file, which is my UI. Let's take a look on this and see how this simple code made it. And there is just one more detail. On the JavaScript side, remember this Launchpad URL? Instead of do here a get, because I want real time, I do a watch. I can watch URLs now. And when you do a watch, you can list an event that emit the message, a send message event that comes from the server now is connected to the client by 3 lines of code. And now you have the client here. You can just say client.on and say, when someone sends a message, repaint the template. That's all. And let's deploy this to the cloud. And hopefully it works well, because you guys are many people. We never tested with so many people. So I run a command. I'm running my pod, my service, to the cloud. Now, everyone try to go to, don't hack, please. Igor, respect the talk. And now go to liferay.io/chat. Everyone should see a very nice chat. Actually, remember to put this last comma here, chat/. OK, so go to this URL, everyone. And let's start chat and see. OK, go to this. This is a chat built for our friend Chema. It was his birthday. And now everyone should say hello. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it was going. Let me refresh the page. I don't know if it's the server or the socket. Let's see. You guys could open that? Who opened this? Raise your hand. OK. Let me see. Yeah, the application is up. Maybe some dependency outside, like the socket.io or OK, let me do this. Let me undeploy. And then everyone is going to lose connection. And I'll deploy again. So that's how easy it is to deploy a service. OK, I undeployed it, so chat should be gone now. /chat. And I'm going to deploy again to see if it works. Yeah, it's not loading. Yeah, anyways, I wish you guys could see this chat. It's really cool. It's working in your phones? OK, yeah, my internet's not working. I cannot even load the HTML. Yeah, so then you can deploy your services. You can create your chat. And look again, how many lines of code you need to build like a real time. And that's pretty much it. Let me go back to the slides. To finish this. So what we have built here is pretty good. I really like it, not because Liferay built it, but because as a developer, I would love to use a platform like that to build my applications. And we hope that you like as well. And we are in the dev preview, so go there, liferay.io. It's temporary name, Launchpad. We are trying to find another name or maybe keep this name. Domain, we don't know about that, but we would like to invite all of you to play around and give us feedback about everything, about how to build APIs, how to map your paths. Oh, this works, this doesn't work. So feel free to go there. If you want to click here, you have real-time chat with us. You can open your issues from the website. You can say, this doesn't work, or whatever. Just go there and feel free to say anything. Join our developer program. If you have a Liferay account at liferay.com, you will receive right away the invite, so you can log in. If you are a developer with another email, just put your email there and wait for an invitation. We are taking care about the infrastructure, and we are going to send invitation emails for you in the next couple of days or weeks. Just keep watching that. Also, we started to write documentation, so check it out, liferay.io/learn. This is more like a developer documentation for now, because you can download the server, play locally, and create your applications UI. And tomorrow, don't miss this talk. It's Zino and Igor. They are going to present all live coding and demos about Launchpad. Maybe the chat will work tomorrow. So let's see. Don't miss this one. In track B. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys. We want to make things simpler for you. We want to simplify stuff, so then you can focus on what's important and we take care about the rest. I would like to also thank you, the team. It's a small team that was growing during the project. Like Igor is in Serbia, we were in Brazil, sometimes in LA, and the time zones were crazy, working until like 3 a.m. The guys did a very good job. Thank you, everyone. And that's all. Thank you, guys, for watching that.